Greetings, movie lovers, and welcome to another episode of EMoney's Reviews. We've got two movies to review today. A little later, EMoney's Movie-isms, but first, let's talk entertainment news. And unlike your mainstream news mediums, I'm talking real entertainment news. On this show, you're not going to see any news about celebrity weddings, or who said what on The Real Housewives, or who gives a rat's ass. Don't you ever talk about my husband. Just movies, television, and everything that entails. Speaking of which, let's talk Star Wars. Nerd boner. Last week was a week of leaked photos, and some of the photos we saw were of Mark Hamill on the set of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Let's take a look at that photo, and he looks good. I mean, he's obviously older, but he looks like Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 4. I mean, I would learn how to use the Force from that guy. Let's hope we get to see some more of Luke Skywalker in the next trailer to Episode 7, The Force Awakens, out in theaters in December. Now let's take a look at these next leaked photos of Black Panther on the set of Captain America Civil War. And taking a look at it, yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, T'Challa has a pretty basic outfit. It's kind of hard to screw up a Black Panther costume. And you have to do something really stupid. I mean, like Fox-level stupid to screw that up. If you're wondering if I'm ever going to let up on Fox, the answer is a resounding no. Other photos released last week were from CW's The Flash. Here we get our first glimpse of the Jay Garrick version of The Flash. This image is actually a recreation of the Flash 123 cover, The Flash of Two Worlds. Great marketing idea by someone at CW. And you can catch the exciting season premiere of The Flash on the CW October 6th. And finally, UFC champion Ronda Rousey has been campaigning to play Ms. Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a while now. Ever since Ronda expressed that desire, fans have been sending concept art of her in the role, and last week Ronda posted some of her favorites to her Twitter account. And looking at these images, I would say she'd be about perfect for the role. And even if she weren't, I think we should just give Ms. Rousey whatever the hell she wants. I mean, do you want to be the Marvel exec who says no to Ronda Rousey? Marvel has yet to comment on this idea. Well, that about does it for photos this week. Now let's move on to current films. And out in theaters right now is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. In this spy thriller set in the 1960s, a CIA agent and a KGB operative are forced to work together in order to stop a terrorist with a nuclear weapon. You know, in a movie that's supposed to be a spy thriller, it's like they're afraid to do a decent action scene. In all but maybe two scenes, just when the hand-to-hand fighting is about to start, the movie does a cop-out and flashes to the next scene, and you're just supposed to assume what happened next. It's as if during filming, they only had a decent fight choreographer on the set maybe a third of the time. In at least two other scenes in the film, there's some kind of action happening on screen, and there's little to no dialogue going on in those, and I think they're trying to be funny in those scenes, but really they just stop the movie dead. In one scene, it starts out feeling like an old school Bond movie scene where the cavalry finally shows up. But then the scene ends almost before it begins. It's like they were afraid to give us decent action in an action film. While not a horrible movie, I think there were a lot of missed opportunities here, and I give it 2 popcorns out of 4. And now, moving on to our next film. A film that you can watch at home right now, after you finish watching this show. And if you have Netflix. And that is the epic fantasy adventure Knights of Badassdom, every LARPer's wet dream. In Knights of Badassdom, a ragtag group of nerds finds out what happens when LARPing gets real. Joining them on their quest is the very sexy and very unrealistic LARPer, Gwen, played by Summer Glau. The movie also stars Peter Dinklage in his most badass role ever. This movie has all the action and pop culture references your little nerd heart can take, and I give it 2.5 popcorns out of 4. Alright, movie lovers, it's that time again. It's time for EMoney's Movie-isms. And here is your fair warning. If you don't want spoilers to any of these movies, stop watching right now. Today's movie-ism is called The Letdown, also known as writing a check you can't cash. And what this is a movie with a lot of suspense and build-up, and throughout it you're getting really excited for the big ending, and then it's completely anticlimactic. Examples: in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. At the end of the film, you've got a fleet of Her Majesty's Navy ships and a fleet of pirate ships facing off against one another. And as you're watching this, you're thinking, this is going to be incredible. This is going to be one of the greatest naval battles in the history of film. And then a total of 3 ships participate in the entire battle. The Matrix Revolutions. Let's have this incredible battle between the machines and the people of Zion. Meanwhile, Neo and Smith are duking it out in the Matrix. Then, at the conclusion of both battles, Neo is dead, the machines turn around and go home, and everybody just sings Kumbaya. Shrek the Third. Let's get every single character in the movie together for this big standoff between heroes and villains in what should be an awesome and probably hilarious fight scene. And then Arthur shows up and talks down all the villains. What a buzzkill that guy was. Up here are just a few more examples of movies that gave us the letdown. And don't forget, if you want to improve your movie knowledge, go to listchallenges.com. There you can find lists made by movie lovers just like you of films you need to see to become the ultimate movie buff. And guys, if you like what I'm doing here, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure to share and tell your friends about the show. Well, I believe that concludes this episode. Fare thee well, and I shall see thee next time on EMoney's Reviews.